Alright, so in this one, I want to go over units that I wouldn't necessarily consider to be underrated, but more units that deserve a little bit more praise and respect for what they are and where they're run. Now, these won't be your number one pick units, let's say, for Rival Universe. Vados your number one pick. This other guy won't be number one pick. Gogeta Blue is going to be your number one pick over Super Saiyan God Vegeta if you have, specific stars. That's kind of what these units are, right? They're not your number one picks, but they're very good picks that are still very good in what they do. And honestly, I never see them in play, maybe besides one or two of these units, and that's very, very rare. So I felt like I should put some respect on their names since nobody else is. So the only one that'll be in order is number 1. Numbers 6 through 1, 2, won't be in order. To give a little shout to this guy here, Heat Dome Trunks, I would say he could make it on the list, but he's really not that amazing. It's more that he can go neutral on this. His green card, if it were a quick animation, it'd be better. Doing more to regen is good. It's just that he takes too long to get more damage. But once you do have that damage built up with, let's say, Purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta supporting him, he can do crazy damage and actually is pretty good after, what? 2 years? Because he came out right after? No, he came out, he's a year and a couple months old because they came out right before or after a big celebration. I'm not sure where, but they came out around that time. So to go over it, it's honestly mostly going to be the same tag, which is funny enough, but it's not really because of the tag, it's more because these units just have replacements that are better. Like I said, Dispo. Dispo is very fucking good. I don't know where people get the impression that he's bad, because I've seen a lot where people are just like, oh, he does nothing, he doesn't really do much, he's okay, but that's it. And I agree, he's okay, but that doesn't make him bad. To look at his abilities here, Universal Legends Captain of Quickness, okay. Reduce damage by 30% from battle starts for 20 timer counts, cannot be cancelled. Reduce damage by 20% from battle starts for 60 timer counts. So, there you go. 50% reduction early match for this guy. Then he gets Flying Effect Stealth when he enters the battlefield. 80% damage inflicted cannot be cancelled, or cannot be stacked. It can be cancelled. 100% key recovery cannot be stacked. And my side strike and blast starts cost. Then he has the Vegeta Blue effect, where the following effects occur upon landing a strike or blast dart's hit. Hold on. He shortens own sub count by 2. That's really good. With Topo. Randomly draws 1 new card. Activates 2 times. Activation counts reset when character switches. So, again, the Vegeta Blue effect, right? People thought of this guy as Vegeta Blue, just a newer version, because he draws a card every single time for a strike or blast. It's going to just do long combos that are tedious, but, good for farming rushes. Then he reduces enemy key by 15, and inflicts enemies attribute downgrade minus 20% to key recovery 5 timer counts. His art, to look at it, green card's pretty good, I'll be honest. Randomly draws 1 new card, nullifies own attribute downgrades, and abnormal conditions 15 timer counts. Then the following effects occur depending on the number of timer counts elapsed from battle start. 15 counts he gets card draw speed, and then 15 for 15 timer counts, then 20% damage inflicted for 15 counts. Then at 30 counts he gets card draw speed again, which can stack, by the way, so if you pop 2 green cards with this guy, he'll have double card draw speed. Plus, he's drawing more and more cards, basically Vegeta Blue, but better. Then 40% damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. His ultimate here can faint, and a -1 to their card draw speed, and +3 to sub count for 20 timer counts. Very good. On hit. That sucks, but it's good. Strike and Blast are normal. His stats aren't terrible. He has 14 stars. He should have a little bit better. I would say 250s, 260. Will make him actually runnable. But I mean, look, he's a range type. He has equal stats to his Blast and Strike. I would say that's a good thing. Now, yes, you do have Bergamo, who I believe is probably one of the best red units in the game. I know Red Gogeta is above him, FSK is above him, but I think Bergamo's a top 5 red unit in the game because every single thing Bergamo gets is uncancelable, and his barrier green card is very good, along with his ultimate, given you need, allies alive, but, well, to do maximum damage, but Bergamo's just better. But this guy's really not a bad option. Let's say you had like a 6-star Bergamo, and a 14-star Dispo, because Dispo was on, I would say, more premium banners, like UI Goku's banner is one everyone went deep on, right? He was featured more on banner. I think he was featured on LF Broly's banner. And then Bergamo was on a Gogeta Blue's banner. This guy's someone you'd have high stars, and honestly, he probably, my 14-star Dispo is probably better than a 9-star Bergamo, which is kind of a hot take, but I do feel that. This guy is legitimately Vegito Blue, but better. I used Vegito Blue yesterday, and you saw there, he was wrecking shit, right? Well, that's an LF with basically the same stats as this guy, maybe a little bit more. This guy is Vegito Blue, just in essence. So I think this guy deserves a little bit more respect. I do understand Rival Universe isn't so hot right now, but this unit in it of himself is very good, and I think people should be running him a little bit more often. To go over one more, before we get to more Rival Universe units, DBS Frieza. Now I see this guy run on LOE, and that's great because LOE has Red Metal Cooler, and this guy just flows better, right? Red Metal Cooler is okay, but he's not the greatest Zenkai. He's just pretty average, just like most of the recent ones, which is good. Yeah, this DBS Frieza, and he's very good. Defense is actually pretty high for just normal ass sparking. Now he is at 14. Stats aren't terrible. Blast Attack is higher than Dispo at least, and they came out pretty close together. Then we look at his stuff, right? Z ability, by the way, for Dispo, I think is double attack for Rival Universe. Yeah, I think so. So that's very good. But to look at Frieza here, his main ability, shall I put you to a little test? Duels an ultimate arts card Nova Storm next, restores own key by 30, plus 30% ultimate damage for 20 timer counts, then inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade -2 to card draw speed. Now that's just when you pop his main. Understand that. -2 to card draw speed is essentially the same thing as having Vados pop her green card and fucking over your key restore. You wanna know why it's better? Guess what? It's to everyone. So let's say you swap out, okay. Let's say I make you waste your Vanish, then you swap out again, but you still have that -2 card draw speed for 15 timer counts. You get me? Very good. Again, the ability is great. Giving a double and then another buff to LOE units. Then his unique ability, the Emperor arrives. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Plus 80% damage inflicted cannot be stacked, reduced standard C by 25% for 15 timer counts. Then draw a special arts card next, activates once. Also increase the damage inflicted according to the number of Dragon Balls you possess. 3 through 6 he has plus 30%, and then 7 Dragon Balls he has 50%. So he gets 130% if you have a rush ready to go. Very good. Then, Ignoble Extermination. Okay, that's just a weird word. The following effects occur upon landing a strike of blast starts. Hit, restores own key by 10, inflicts enemy attribute downgrade plus 25% damage for 10 timer counts. Then, inflicts enemy attribute downgrade -50% to health recovery for 10 timer counts. You slap a Gogeta Blue, you slap a Gogeta Blue, and then they swap. Maybe they pop 2 green cards, go to Vados, then swap back out to Gogeta Blue. Well, he's going to heal half that health. That's it. He pops his main, he's healing half. That's crazy. Is that not crazy? That sounds crazy to me. The flying effects, wait, what? Applies flying effects to enemy when this character lands a blast darts hit. Reduces key by 50. Inflicts attribute downgrade -30% key recovery for 30 time accounts. Now, reduces key by 50. I mean, if they're mid-combo, it's not going to do much. Because if they're taking, like, a combo, they're obviously not going to hit you anyways. But let's say you float to mid-range and you pop this blast, and then maybe they, I don't know, they get hit by it, and then you kind of have no switches. This is like your last man. Well, they have a little bit of time where they have to charge up their key again, because, I mean, they're -50 the key, right? Pretty niche thing that could work out, just not the greatest. Then his blue card here, Surprise Death Beam, deals massive pierce damage, gain attribute upgrade, -100% to enemy sting damage cut, so fuck their cover cut, right? For 3 timer counts upon activation, then 100% chance to inflict heavy bleed, which is very good, and then blast armor. Now his ultimate doesn't have blast armor, but we'll talk about that in a second. Then his green card is a quick green card animation, by the way. Applies flying effects to self upon activation, randomly draws 1 card, cancel enemies' buff effects, then take your opponent's Dragon Ball and adds them to your own hand. The effects will change according to the number of Dragon Balls they possess, so if they have 1 or more, you take 1, you gain 1. If they have none, you gain 1 anyways. Then he has 100% chance to inflict paralyze on hit. I'm sighing because it's tedious, but it's really good. It's probably the best part of his kit, besides his main ability. Paralyze is tedious, right? There's no counter to Paralyze besides running units that are immune, and the units that are immune aren't necessarily the greatest units in the game currently. Like Super Saiyan Blue Goku is very good, but he's not, the greatest. Vegito Blue, again, one of those units. He's not the greatest, but, you know, he's immune. Then you have units like FSK that can cancel that when he pops a green card, which is cool and all, but what if he gets paralyzed as soon as I hit him with it? Can't pop that green card, right? Paralyzed is very tedious and very good. That's why Hero Hercule is still so tedious to this day. Then his ultimate Nova Storm deals massive explode damage. The Flying Effects occur on a hit, restores own health by 40%, and destroys all of your enemy's cards. Cancels enemy attribute upgrades. Now, there's no Blast Armor, so you want to land this mid-combo. But nonetheless, it's really not that bad. I mean, 40% is crazy. Canceling their buffs. That's literally what Kid Buu does, right? Instead of destroying their cards, Kid Buu seals their strikes. This is better than Kid Buu's. Given he has Blast Armor, this one doesn't. It's an LF versus a non-LF. But this guy is very good. I wish I saw him in a lot more play for movies. But I do understand Red Bojack is just a better unit. Red Gogeta as well. But this guy definitely will be represented a little better as we just get more and more units. And it does suck he's not a powerful opponent, but he was not the opponent of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, technically, even though he made the opponent become the opponent. I don't know. Regardless, he's very good. I think people should use him a little bit more on their movies team if they are tired of running a Red Bojack, because that's a very tanky setup, while this guy can offer a very offensive setup / tedious setup with the Paralyze and his good blast damage. To keep going back to Rival Universe here, you look at Jiren. Now, I compared it earlier, Vados compared to another unit. This is that other unit. Look, his stats, really fucking good strike attack. Truly, that's really goddamn high. 270? Remember, he came out with Dispo. Dispo has 240s, right? This guy's 270. Crazy on that. Strike has the damage cut penetration, gain attribute upgrade, minus 10 to enemies taking damage cut effects for 10 timer counts, and has Blast Armor, obviously. All of him has Blast Armor. His blue card, Powerful Impact, deals massive explode damage, plus 30% to next special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts upon activation. Then Blast Armor again. Green card, I don't like his green card too much. I understand it's a good reset card, but I want a combo. I'm very brain dead, so reset cards just don't flow the best with me. Obviously, you could use them whenever, but I'd just rather use it on someone else than just use it on this Jiren, right? The following effects occur on hit: destroy all of your own cards and randomly draws 4 new ones. Restore ki by 50, restore advantage gauge by 100%, activates twice, plus 20% strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and inflicts enemies with no switching for 5 timer counts. It's very good. Again, I don't prefer it, it's very, very good, I promise. I just don't prefer it, and has Blast Armor when charging forward. Then his ultimate, Overheat Magnetron, deals massive explode damage, plus 50% to ultimate damage for 3 timer counts upon activation. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, minus 80% to health restore for 40 timer counts. And Blast Armor. Fucking over health restore is crazy. You look at Angel Vegeta, you look at Vados. If you are doing that, you are literally nullifying their entire usage of the match. You do this, I mean, you're nullifying the units, right? Because it's to all enemies. You can't do anything about that unless you have someone that can cancel that for their own unit. Then it doesn't matter, because then the other 2 units are still having it. Just saying. Very good. Main ability, It's Over. Draw the ultimate arts card, Overheat Magnetron next. Restores own health by 20% and ki by 40. Plus 30% strike damage inflicted with 30 timer counts. And increase card draw speed by 1 level. Pretty good. And then his Z ability, Rival Universe and Powerful Opponent. Strike attack and defense, so he is buffing 2 very vast tags. Rival Universe obviously will be getting buffs eventually, and it'll be a very big tag. Unique ability, Best of the Best. The flying effects occur to self when the character enters the battlefield. Plus 50% to damage inflicted cannot be stacked. Plus 70% to key recovery cannot be stacked. Gain a buff effect, nullify enemy special cover change for 15 timer counts, activates twice. Very good. Look at Gogeta Blue. Look at Jiren. It's the same thing. Amazing. Additional plus 50% damage inflicted if there is 1 battle member. Cannot be cancelled. Restores own health each timer count for 20 timer counts when this character switches to standby. I didn't even know he did that. Holy shit, he heals as well. This guy, they fucking made him really good. Robust Body. Applies flying effects to self when battle starts. Plus 40% damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled. Reduce damage C by 20%, cannot be cancelled. Reduce next damage sustained by 50%. This applies until combo ends. 50%. Reduce next damage sustained by 50%. Okay, that's good. Then he has a strike knockback that can chain into his blue card. I don't know why Android 17 doesn't have that, the Tournament Power one, but this guy does, because they're literally the same thing. Both have blast armor, both are run-ups, kind of like purple hit, I don't know. But this guy has it where he can nullify their cover change, and then he cover changes in it of himself, and his blue card will do good damage. This guy, I use him quite often. Just, I don't know, Vados is very gimmicky. I don't like running such gimmicky shit 24/7. You know, sometimes when you just want to win, you'll run the broken stuff, the stupid stuff that doesn't make sense, is unbalanced and unfair. But a lot of times I run this Jiren just because he's so goddamn offensive. Like, he never feels like he's going to let you down when he's hitting. I never am like, oh, that's bad damage. Maybe with Dispo, I'm like, okay, that's damage. But Jiren hits like a fucking truck all the time. Like, you just got to play him right. But it's not hard to play him right. He's just a very good unit. It's really simple to play him correctly, I would say. To go over the last Rival Universe unit here, again, it's not intentional that these are all on the list. It's just, it's true that these units have been replaced, but again, they're still very good in it of themselves. Champa. Now, Champa, I really, in my opinion, don't think he's too great, but I've seen a lot of plays with him against me, you know, against other people, just watching streams, videos, whatever, where he just fucking turns the tides of a match so easily and so effortlessly. I'm just like, where the hell did this come from? To look at his stats here, look at him 14 stars because everyone else was 14 stars, right? Not crazy. I mean, his blast attack is okay for being a range type, but nothing crazy. His critical's pretty high. Again, nothing ridiculous, right? To look at his strike, it's normal. His blast randomly destroys one enemy card on hit. That's very tedious and very good, unless you're up against specific units like LF Broly-esque who get more damage as they get more cards, but that's very few and far between. His blue card, Sphere Destruction Barrage, deals massive explode damage plus 30% to the special move damage inflicted 3 time counts upon activation. Same thing as Jiren. Then his green card, Rumblings of Destruction. The following effects occur to enemy on hit. This is really good. Immobilizes the enemy. Okay. Inflicts attribute downgrade plus 30% to damage received for 15 timer counts. Reduce Dragon Balls by 1. Activates 3 times. Cancels enemy attribute upgrades. Activates once. The reason it's so good, not because of all it does, it's a quick animation. You miss this, you sidestep. That's it. It can do all this on top of being quick animation. It's crazy. Main ability, God Destruction's Judgment. Restores own health by 30%. Again, you can pair this guy with Vados, so remember that. He can heal. Similar to Gogeta Blue. He can heal himself. Then he has Vados who can heal him as well. And Key by 50. Nullifies own unfavorable element for 20 timer counts. Now this is timeless. He can go neutral. Champa can go neutral for 20 timer counts. Now, does he have the stats of LF Gohan, Super Saiyan 3 Goku to make amazing usage of it? I would say no. But even having that effect is just an absurd feat in and of himself. Then he destroys all of your enemy cards. So let's say you pop that main ability, you tackle him, boom. You're going to get a combo that you're type neutral and that you really can't do anything about it. Z ability is double attack for God Key or Rival Universe, which are very good tags in it for themselves. Then his unique ability, Reckless God Destruction. Applies flying effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Plus 50% damage inflicted, cannot be stacked. Plus 40% to blast damage inflicted, cannot be stacked. Then minus 10 to blast and special move arts cost for 20 timer counts. 90% damage inflicted, right? Pretty good. Shortens allied tag God Key or Rival Universe subcount by 1 every time when hit with an enemy strike or blast starts. All his characters on the battlefield, similar to Red Revival Cell. While your enemies are getting hit, his subcount's getting down, down, down. While he's getting hit, their subcounts are getting down, down, down. Pair that with like a Topo, a Bergamo, a Vados. It's just going to flow perfectly, I would say. Domination through Destruction. Reduce damage received by 20% when battle starts if there's a tag God Key or Rival Universe battle member other than this character in the party. Cannot be cancelled. So, damage received. Very good. Reduces damage received, rather. Then applies flying effects to all enemies when this character enters the battlefield. Now, this is annoying. Inflicts attribute downgrade plus 30% to damage received for 15 timer counts. Inflicts attribute downgrade minus 1 to card draw speed for 10 timer counts. And inflicts attribute downgrade plus 5 to all arts cost for 5 timer counts. That doesn't sound so bad, but look. Card draw speed is a very fun thing to talk about, I'd say. A lot of units, a lot of characters are valued over their card draw speed more than anything else, right? You could say that for the Jiren or Dispo we just went over, because Dispo can get up to whatever card draw speed if you just pop green cards. Jiren gets card draw speed on main. People value card draw speed a lot, and it's valid because card draw speed is very good, but this is more just tedious because he's increasing your card cost while minusing your card draw speed. So you have a 19 blast darts cost. Well, now it's 24. Now you can't even draw 5 cards in one combo. Now you can't even do all of those cards because you don't have enough ki because he's upping your card cost. This is a very tedious, unique ability. It's honestly one of the better ones in the game just because of how annoying it is. And him lowering sub count, this is going to happen very often. It's not going to be like a one-time thing. Okay, now my card cost is up, my card draw speed's down. No, because you can lower sub counts. The team has very good sub count manipulation with Vados, with Topo, and good combo extenders like Bergamo, like Jiren. You have a lot of things that flow well to make this just be very annoying during an entire match. And I think this guy, while he's not the main or even second best unit for God Key on Rival Universe, he's super annoying to deal with. But to go over the last unit, let me know who you guys think it is. It's not anybody related to, well, most of the tags we talked about already, so that might give it away a little bit. But let me know who you guys think it is. I doubt anyone will agree, but I feel like this guy should be a little bit more valued, specifically for the teams he is on, just because you might not own the unit that replaces him. So to go over it, I think the last unit, the number 1 unit that is undervalued, is Red Rose. Now, why Red goddamn Rose? If you don't have Corrupted Zamasu, this guy's still good. Straight up, right? If you have even just maybe a 3-star Corrupted Zamasu and you want to be like, I need a little bit more defenses for me, well, okay, you can run this guy. Not terrible defenses. On God Key, he can be runnable. I know I don't see him in play a lot, but you can run him on God Key. On Future, again, he is your red option if you do not have the Corrupted Merge Zamasu LF. Trunks and Mai are cool and all, but I just think this guy's a better option. Powerful opponent, he's a decent red option, given there is better ones there at least. But for God Key and Future, I would still recommend running this guy. Again, stats aren't terrible. For what? Came out Black Friday, so a 1.5 year old unit? Not bad stats. He's matching Dispo stats almost, and Dispo is on this list. His strike, normal, blast, normal. His blue card, Violent Fierce God Slicer, deals massive explode damage, restores own advantage gauge by 40% on hit. No blast armor with a dash forward blue card is bad, but again, remember his age, right? Then his green card, Slicer Dance, plus 20% strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, then -5 to own strike and blast darts cost for 15 timer counts. Then his ultimate, God Slicer, Palm of Ashes. What? Deals massive impact damage plus 50% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts upon activation, just like normal units have nowadays. Then his main ability. I like this main ability. Your time is up. Draw the ultimate arts card, God Slicer, Palm of Ashes next. Restores own health by 20%, and then nullifies own unfavorable element factors for 30 timer counts. Now, he is in the boat of Champa, where he cannot make the greatest use of this, because he is just not as good as the more recent units that have nullification of colors. But nonetheless, that is crazy just because it exists. If you Rising Rush with this guy and there's a blue and you pop his main before that, you will kill that guy on a rush. Anyone, really. Like, it's not pick and choose, pick and choose. No, he can do that. He's just good enough with his stats and with this main ability. He offers a lot just because of his main. The Z ability is strike, attack, and defense for God Key or Future, which whatever, it's normal. Unique ability, the rose colored Super Saiyan, applies the fun effects to self based on own remaining health when this character enters the battlefield. Now this I don't like. This could have been done a lot better, even when he dropped. Health is 75% or more, plus 30% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, and increase card draw speed by 1 level for 15 timer counts. Health is below 75%, restores ki by 30, plus 45% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and then increase card draw speed by 1 level for 20 timer counts. I don't like that because it should have been like 85% or more, then he gets the first one, then below 85, he gets the other one. Because realistically, you're not going to pop his main for the heal. I mean, typically, right? I wouldn't. I would pop his main if I'm going to try to rush somebody because I want to get that neutral, or I want to land the ultimate because maybe they don't have enough switch timer counts to swap back into a blue unit, and there's a yellow unit on the field, right? Or whatever, any color, because he nullifies color. If it were 85%, then I'd be more wary to pop his main, but I don't feel like I have to hold on to it. Obviously, because the heal, because it's 75%, it just... If I'm below 75%, I'm going to be at like 25% by the end of that combo. That's how this game works. So, not the greatest unique, but it is good that he gets card draw speed at least somewhere. Again, farming rush is a thing that happens. And then his other unique, Define Punishment Served. Inflicts all enemies attribute downgrade plus 10% damage received for tag God Key or Future for 3 times when battle begins. The enemy, every single enemy, unless they're immune, gets plus 30% damage received. The entire fight. I don't know why. I don't know why he does that. It's crazy. It's good. I like it. It works. The flying effects occur when this character evades enemy attack with the Vanishing Step. Randomly destroys one enemy card. Reduces next damage sustained by 30%. Cannot be stacked. This applies until enemy combo is finished. When I faced him back in the day, this guy would always destroy the next card, so like the 4th card down, which is usually the one that's closest to your thumb when you're clicking. And he would always fuck me over, and I end up tapping him. So that could be something tedious. Overall, I don't think he's amazing, but I do think he is a unit that is worth running if you really don't want to run a low-star Corrupted Muratsumasu on Gaki or Future. That's my top 5, I guess you could say top 6 because he don't Trunks in the beginning. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. I would say these are pretty normal picks to where people wouldn't like be, oh, this is so wrong, blah, blah, blah. I think it's pretty accurate. Jiren, Dispo, Champa, Heat Dome Trunks, DBS Frieza, and Rose, all being kind of, again, not underrated, because people appreciate the value of Jiren, of DBS Frieza, and those units. It's more just underused for what they are. I think they can all be used and shit stomp a lot of teams, and they're just not used because there's better units. While that exists, it also exists the fact that you can run a different variety of a team to where these units have the same color, but they're different units. Jiren can obviously be used over Vados. Now, is that, tier list-wise, meta-wise? Are you going to do that? No. But if you want to actually play the game, you don't care about this, you just want to play the game, do big damage, pop your Jiren. You want to get Rising Rush quicker? Pop your Dispo. You want to be tedious? Go DBS Frieza. It's just a good method to play around what exists already and kind of just play the way you want to play and not just run, oh, this has to be the best or I can't run it. That's just my take on this whole entire video. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys agree or disagree, and I'll see you guys in the next one.